Happy Friday morning to you all. We got another Watchmen update. We've got a lot of important things out there. First of all, that I am super excited today that woke leftists won't be shopping today due to their boycott or something. So if you're looking for peace and quiet while you shop, today is your day and you are in luck. All right, we need to talk about the stock market drop yesterday, and the stock market's poised to drop even more today. So we'll talk about why that is and what's going on and where it kind of goes from here possibly. Epstein files were released yesterday, and well, just a few of them, and we're going to ask the question, what just happened and what happens next with that? We got government shutdown looming over us. Nobody's talking about that yet, but we're going to be talking about it a lot shortly. New postal fees from being reported by the Watchmen community, out of control costs at ERs, at hospitals, reported by the Watchmen community, and ambulances even being diverted. We got a lot to talk about on the medical side of things for sure. Lots of updates from the Watchmen community. Let's get into it. Welcome to the Poplar Report. I'm Steve Poplar. I'm an accountant by trade, and these are your updates that you guys are sending in. If you have something to share, make sure you use the word update somewhere in your comment. That gets it to the right place. Before we go any further, we do want to thank our sponsor, Genesis Gold Group. They are like-minded folks who are helping people move some of their assets, particularly their retirement accounts, over into gold, silver, or platinum. Physical metals that are yours. When you take a distribution out of your IRA or 401k, will it be in dollars or will it be in physical metals? All right, friends, if you want to find out more, there'll be a link at the end of the video for you to click on. All right, the stock market dropped yesterday. It was S&P was down like 1.6%, and fear has reemerged. This week, I was talking about this last weekend. I was there like something's changed in the market. There's fear coming back, and there is a lot of banks and brokerages and financial people are concerned about things. The narrative, the story that's keeping the market going has started to break down. We're seeing that in some of the tech stocks are starting to break down, and we're also particularly seeing that over in the cryptocurrency markets. If you're in the cryptocurrency markets, that's part of what prompted me to talk about that this week. Not many people of you were interested in watching that, but the cryptocurrencies are crashing. Bitcoin has officially entered a bear market or a downward market, and that does seem to be a leading indicator right now for the financial markets. And because of that, I expect to see the market to pull down even further. India is their market's been coming down hard, and some of the other developing places like China are really, really struggling, and that does have a tendency to carry over eventually into the U.S. markets. And so it looks like we are due for a pullback, pretty significant pullback, and we're getting it right now. So please protect yourselves. If you're staying in the stock market, make sure you're hedged, okay? Make sure you got that downward insurance. Make sure you're buying some puts out there, or however you hedge. Make sure that you're diversified and make sure that you're protected against a big market pullback. The Epstein release was a total bust. No names, no new information really of any substance. Pam Bondi, the Attorney General, demanded afterwards that the FBI send all files to her office by 8 a.m. this morning. So just a couple hours from now. Apparently, the New York FBI office has been going rogue and has just like refused all the requests. So the FBI field office is standing up to the secretary as well as the Attorney General and just refusing to comply. Even Patel can't get them to do anything. They are absolutely fighting the President of the United States' will to release these Epstein files. So we've been wondering why it's been taking so long. That's why it's been taking so long. We got a U.S. government shutdown set for March 15th due to the debt ceiling. We knew this was coming. We basically ran out of debt ceiling room just as Trump got into office, and the chances of us getting a deal with the Senate Democrats is let's just say, remote at this point. So almost certainly going to have a government shutdown, and projections are showing that it looks like March 15th is when the federal government will run out of money or run out of being able to borrow money. So they're doing extraordinary measures. They're playing bookkeeping games to keep it going, and it's going to run into a brick wall March 15th. They're going to have to shut down the federal government and stop paying workers, and only those who are deemed essential are going to be required to come into work. Those deemed non-essential, historically, would just sit at home on a nice vacation, and then later, when they get called back in, they get paid for those days that they didn't work because that somehow makes sense or something. I don't know. But let's just say it's highly unlikely that the Senate Democrats are going to work with the president, at least initially. So this is the scenario I've been hoping for. I think this is the easiest way to do Doge. You just step out there and say, this time, we're not going to pay you back pay. So if you get put on leave, we're not going to pay you for the days that you didn't work. You do that, and then you just basically let the government just stay shut down. You have a bunch of people sitting at home not getting a paycheck if they're not essential, and the president gets to determine which people are essential and tell the essential people that for all the work that they're doing, they're going to get paid. And then maybe even possibly we could loan them money or something like that so that they can then pay back that loan when they get their paycheck or something along those lines. That way we can basically just across the entire federal government shut down all the parts that we don't want to see open. All right. Trump has announced 25% tariffs on Europe are going to happen. I kind of reported that yesterday, but also now France is saying that they're going to hit back with a 25% tariff on the United States. Other countries haven't said that explicitly yet, but France has already said that's what they're going to do. We got the Mexico and Canada tariffs that were put on hold. Well, they kick back in on March 4th. So that looks like it may actually happen. White House signaling that there won't be an extension again, but then again, is this just more bargaining chips? Is this just tough negotiations to get more concessions out of Mexico and Canada? And I will point out this. If there's one thing that businesses hate and financial markets hate more than anything, it's uncertainty. And we're getting a whole lot of that right now. In maybe totally unrelated news, or maybe very totally related news, Mexico abruptly extradited 28 cartel bosses to the United States, including a killer of a DEA agent. ICE has signed a contract for a 1,000-bed migrant holding facility to be built in Newark, and apparently they're going to move forward with that real lightning fast to build this 1,000-bed facility to facilitate the deportations out of that area. New Yorkers and New Jersey people are super upset about that, which is just chef's kiss, right? You know, just wonderful. Love it. If you're going to do it right in their faces. It's just great. Cherry says $25,000 for 6 hours in the ER with no help and no diagnosis, just an IV tube and saline. $25,000 for 6 hours, friends. You can just see your life savings disappear like that. Susan says for 3 stitches in a thumb and to wash it with soapy water cost $1,724. That's the bill. Ridiculous. Mr. Black says, in contrast here, update, a friend of mine in the Philippines, his wife had a 4-day hospital stay in the Philippines. The bill was $450 for the whole thing. I'm telling you, if you have the option, if you have the ability to go overseas for medical care, it's a lot cheaper and you can get higher quality care actually too. Just make sure you shop your doctors, and that's what most of these facilities will do, is they will let you pick your doctor and then you can get quotes on how much things will cost. Kathy in Cincinnati says, no orange juice here. Chicken Patty says a U.S. Postal Service now charging a $15 fee to all mail order poultry orders. I don't know why exactly. I guess because they can. Since I am paying the U.S. Postal Service fee directly, I better get my ducklings, $14 each, from up from what it used to be, $8 to $9 each. They better come alive and well. I quit ordering ducklings because the last 3 times I ordered ducklings, they all arrived DOA. They all perished due to U.S. Postal Service delays and incompetence. If they arrive DOA this time, I am paying, and I'm paying the U.S. Postal Service extra to deliver them alive, I will be highly upset, understandably. Plus, pullet prices have doubled. I am paying $9 each for chicks. I used to pay $4 to $5 each last year. To add insult to injury, feeding, bedding has doubled in price. Layer pellets, $11 now. Used to be $11, now $20+. Straw went from $4.50 a bale to $10 a bale. Warmer is now $80, up from $40. I can no longer get the kind I like also. My birds used to be a cheap hobby when I started 25 years ago, but it's really getting really expensive now. Who's Your Homesteader says Indianapolis has a major problem at the Postal Service distribution center. It's been on the news several times lately that they have problems, major problems. Channel 13 in Indy has been investigating their management problems and lack of workers. You should check it out. I had a package that sat in Indianapolis for only 70 miles away for 6 weeks. 6 weeks. It just sat in Indianapolis. Crazy. Misha says, after having flu symptoms for 2 weeks, I acquired a very bad cough a week ago. I had x-rays and was told I had pneumonia. I was prescribed cough syrup and antibiotics. It's been over a week and a half, and I still have not been able to get my prescription of cough syrup. A lot of people are sick out there, and it's impacting availability of things like cough syrup and other medications. So be aware of that, friends. Melody says, Mid-Michigan. On the local scanner yesterday, a heart attack victim being transported was turned away. And the local hospital and ambulance driver were told to go to a hospital 30 minutes away. It's a heart attack victim. This is happening multiple times a week, and I can only hope the person yesterday survived. Absolutely insane. We're seeing just hospitals continue to be overwhelmed across the United States because of the flu, the cough, and other stuff going around. People are just sick all over the place, and it's impacting the availability of beds in ERs. There needs to be major reform, and it needs to come soon. Maureen says, last year I had 2 sets of bills denied by insurance. Whenever I call to get the representative, this is really helpful, friends. You might want to listen to this one. I get a name and a confirmation number at the end of the call. Thank goodness, because that saved me about $10,000. They really do record their calls and refer back to them for my request and for review. Be concise, write well with all the pertinent details, and you might have a chance at winning a review. So, friends, when you talk to the insurance company, don't just go, okay, I heard the name, I heard the reference number. Write those things down. You are your own attorney when it comes to interacting with these insurance companies. They want to delay, deny, and then defend, right? They don't want to pay you out. They want to keep you locked out. They don't want you to get the refunds. They don't want you to get the reimbursements. They're businesses. And they've been getting away with this stuff for quite a long time. So when you're interacting with them, make sure you're writing down and documenting everything. Get a middle folder, get a notepad, dedicate it to that until you get your check from the insurance company. Make sure you're documenting everything. M. Key says, from the Finger Lakes region of upstate New York, limits on eggs and at $6 a dozen. Stopped at Tractor Supply on my way home just to check and see if they had chicks. I spoke to an employee and she said that yes, they had chicks in the past. I spoke 300 chicks were gone in 2 hours, starting at $7 a chick. I'm getting out my 2 incubators and will be hatching and selling chicks from my free-range chicken eggs. So keep that in mind, friends, that prices are up on chicks and it's hard to find them these days. A lot of things happening out there. I am going to give you an advance warning here on this. Looks like that there has been a deal made for importation of eggs from Turkey, and we're talking about hundreds of millions of eggs are going to be coming in over the next number of months. That may bring the price of eggs down. Once that door opens up to importing eggs from other countries, that really shows the administration is serious about bringing the price of eggs down, and that's the fastest way to do it. Eggs in Mexico, $2 a dozen. Eggs in, I was in the Philippines, $2 a dozen. A lot of places in the world, you can get them even cheaper than that. But just the fact that we can maybe import eggs at $2 a dozen, maybe shipping costs 50 cents to $1, being able to bring in $3 a dozen eggs from overseas would really help out a lot of Americans for sure. So if you're stockpiling eggs right now, I am going to say this. I don't know what's going to happen to the price now that we have these eggs being imported. So in the near term, availability issues probably, but then also be aware that the price could start to peak around here. It's possible. So don't be loading up at $8 a dozen right now. If you can get them for $4 or $5 a dozen, that's probably a good bet still. If you're looking at higher prices, $6, $7, that's going to be a little more risky. Just if you need them, you need them. But if you have stockpiles of eggs, you might want to start eating into those stockpiles of eggs and wait for the price to start to stabilize and come down, because that could happen relatively quickly. With this administration, they are moving quickly on things, and they have now decided to start addressing this egg crisis pretty aggressively. So that's my call. I'll update you more on the specifics of that in an upcoming update, but I just want to give you a heads up on that right now so that you can start planning ahead on that. That is very promising, and I know that's been painful to a lot of folks. Don't go too crazy getting chicks at really outrageous prices if you're not really wanting to do that for the long haul. If you're just trying to save a buck, you may want to just go without or just eat in your egg stocks for a little bit until the price comes down shortly, hopefully. All right, friends, if you have updates, please make sure you keep them coming in. Make sure you use the word update somewhere in your comment. If you want to check out what you can do with your retirement account with Genesis Gold, there's a link right there on the screen. If you want to check out another video from this channel, there's one right up there. Just tap on it. That's usually the most recent one. I'll see you over there, or I'll see you guys later. Steve Poplar of the Poplar Report out.